Hello there. Yes, I'm back with the same shirt. In fact, I'm thinking making the shirt my thing, the crazy blue lumberjack shirt all the time in all my videos on LinkedIn, but not my YouTube ones. Some people ask me, why am I posting these videos and why do I write my articles? Well, I think it's two reasons. One, I am actively looking and I'm hoping we're getting these videos out, and also the different ones are on my YouTube channel. And please, at the end of this video, like my YouTube videos. If you go look at them or like and comment on these, it really helps the algorithm. It's that people will think, hey, he makes sense, or hey, I like what he's saying, and maybe he can take away my pain point because I'm actively looking. But that's only 50% of it. The other 50% is, if nothing else, I want to try and champion, get simplicity back to business. It's just what I've seen, especially with some of the more M going to L of an SME. It's really starting to get quite tense in the work environment, and it's due to these masses and masses of complicated systems that I've spoken about, thousands of KPIs. You have these very modern beanbag, open air, sun coming in kind of office environment, and the stress levels, even on a 4-day week like some people have got when offices are open, it's intense. And on the other side, last year I helped just for 6 weeks a real traditional manufacturer. It's in the metals industry. I'm not going to go into it, it's way too complicated to try and explain on these short videos. And it was just simple to work in there. People knew what they were doing. A couple of directors in offices. They had people helping in admin, and people just enjoyed coming to work because it wasn't this tense network of thousands of things you're supposed to keep on top of. No matter how much you say you're trying to help with mental stress, these modern office environments don't work. And since it's become hybrid or even work from home, it's got worse because there's even more tighter controls. This is not how it works. Trust me, it will all collapse very soon. So, moving on what today's video is more about. I personally have no formal education. I didn't go to Eton. I don't have a maths degree. From Cambridge. I don't have a master's in classics from Birmingham. I went to work, started cleaning the toilets, went way up to a CEO of an international company, and I started from zero for 4 of my own companies, or co-founded them, to either sell them as an exit or to sell the IP. This was only done. I'm not clever. I'm not any genius, but this is done with just 2 things: standards, 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 and let business be simple. And it will be if you let it be. I promise it will. As I've said on past videos, to understand the business, you need to know what it is, this most base element, its simplest level. For example, the blockchain, which is an industry I'm very closely connected to. And it's not some sort of ethereal, wow, we can't understand this incredible thing. It's all, stop. It's a ledger. That's it. It cannot be anything else. Now, the reason why it's so powerful is its pure simplicity. It's because it's so simple. That's its strength. Okay, I'm being a bit over the top. It's an open ledger, but the fact is, that's all it is. And it's so simple to understand. And once you understand the simplicity of it, you understand it, and it's a tool for your use. I'll be bringing up over and over again on further videos on here and on YouTube, many of these key elements that keep on showing themselves in business today that have been really ignored. And today's video is more on the sales side. Maybe tomorrow I'm going to operations or big data or search engine optimization, e-commerce. I mean, it doesn't matter whichever, hospitality for that matter, whichever one I go into, I normally decide after my 3rd cup of tea. But today's more of a sales one. The sales training programs I used to give Asia side before COVID was all about sharing with Asian serious sales leaders some of the kind of sales weapons that are used in the West to create a good bottom line and to create those numbers going forward. And also, when giving these training sessions over there, I learned some of the more typical Asian ones that aren't being used in the West. They are, I don't want to call them sneaky because it's the only word that comes to mind, and it's not that. They're very subliminal. They're very using friendship as a way of selling. They're very smart, as in, There are different levels of society, and by manipulating what level you're on compared to the person you are selling, it makes selling easier. And using, actually, when I was getting Western sales training gigs, I would explain some of these to Western sales leaders, and it works. It works. One of the Western kind of sales mythologies that I picked up, which is part of my set of 50 expressions I always use, uh, I've started not to see in Western brands, retailers, pure plays, and business across the board. It's just gone. And it's one of the most important ones when selling, which is quality of presentation determines quality of product sold. And you might think all this is pretty easy to understand. Well, it is, but it's disappeared. And it's one of the massive errors that keeps on happening today in Western business. No one can dispute this expression. The most world's greatest sales gurus will understand, yes, this is correct. But until you've lived from the person who's at the front of a shop and opens the door for someone to the CEO of a company, you only ever see these expressions from one paradigm. Your this point of view from your paradigm. It's the only thing you ever see is yours. But you have to live through them all to see, right, now I know why this works. So now it's time for Peter's real life examples. To sell a Lamborghini, you need to give a Lamborghini quality sales presentation. Yes, makes sense. Long, eloquent. You need to be well dressed, complimentary, etc. Don't forget the free espresso and the sparkling bottle of Peregrino water. And you can spend a long time on your sales process because the margins are good, the sales dollar value is high, it's good for the bottom line when one sold. And of course, this is what the customer expects, and they're used to being treated like this for that product. Now, on the other side of it, if you go into the supermarket and you want to buy a sandwich, you may get a smile off the cashier at best, but these days you don't get that because the majority is self-service. Here is the issue. Now, I'm being hyperbolic here, so sorry, but let me get to the end of this. You'll understand where I'm going. If you went to a Target, Walmart, Tesco, Carrefour, Aldi to buy a sandwich, and then someone from the staff room ran out with an Armani suit on, offered you an espresso and a sparkling bottle of Peregrino water, showed you around the sandwich selection, let you take one away to try it for a little bit, gives you a live Oculus interactive video presentation with how it's going to be so amazing in your mouth, wouldn't you feel odd? Not only would this not make sense, but isn't this not oversell? Wouldn't you be thinking, what am I missing here? I mean, I'll be asking, how much is this sandwich I'm about to buy? So now I've gone to an extreme, and hopefully I have your attention. In the real world, I see brands overselling their products. There is a soap retailer that is in the UK, and I think I've seen them in Europe, but again, it's not my big area, soap, and I don't know much about it as an industry. I think the RRP is about £3 for a product. Okay, it's not the same price as the little own brand soap, but in their shops, just before COVID, they had a gigantic sushi belt that went around the entire store for this one bar of soap. And in their flagship store, they even had holographic dancing hippopotamuses over this sushi bar that went around. Is this not oversell? Now, let's give you another real-life example that I'm sure people have actually seen. You may not have seen the sushi one, but I think you've seen this one. In a well-known chain of supermarkets, they have video strips on each of the shelves where certain branded biscuit is sold. So let's think about the costs here. Production of the actual video strips, production of the videos, fitting them, the costs of the sales process to get the retailers into it, video production costs. What I'm going into what the retailer is going to be charging this company to put these video strips in for a pack of biscuits. And what's even more crazy is that next to all these £1.50 pack of biscuits with these video strip displays saying how amazing they are, next to it is the retailer's own brand of biscuit, which looks exactly the same, and it's for £1. And I'll guarantee you, and you know, which one are they going to buy? Now, the fact is, if they were going to buy this brand, having anyway, this video strip's not going to make any difference whatsoever. They were always going to buy it. So if you saw a £1.50 pack of biscuits with a video strip on it and a £1 pack of biscuits, Which one are you going to buy? You're always going to buy the £1 one because you know it's going to taste exactly the same, and the video strip is not going to make you think any different of it. In fact, if we now go back to the Lamborghini and quality of your presentation, you're thinking, why subliminally? I'm not saying unless you're someone like me who sees through these things, you're not going to think to yourself, well, it just doesn't feel right. Why do I need this for a pack of biscuits? In fact, it distracts you from the product. Now, let me stand on my orange box a little bit more. Whose idea was this? Who agreed to this? Who signed off on the budget for this? That's going to hit on the bottom line and have a massive, devastating overall effect on the bottom line of the entire company. Simplicity. You make biscuits. You sell biscuits. That's it. You are only selling to the lifeblood of a country for a product like that, not the Lamborghini purchaser. Let's try this a new way. Spend that money on product development. Spend that money on bringing the prices down for the customers. Give the money to the investors. Better, give your staff pay rises with that money. Why do you need video strips for a £1.50 packet of biscuits? This for sure is a KPI departmental budgetary mess, and it's so typical of fat, not flat companies. If your staff are conscientious, well trained, good at what they do, how many KPIs does the marketing and sales team need? 10, 15, 50, over 50 maybe? I can tell you there's an exact number, and again, some people might find this very complicated. It's not easy to find as well, but I'll explain where it is. If you get an Excel spreadsheet and you work all the way down it, right on the bottom, generally on the bottom right hand side, right at the bottom, is the KPI you need. There's one, and it's called total. You don't need any others because that's your business is a profit orientated business, I would assume, and it's there to make profit. You need one KPI, total, nothing else. Business is simple if you let it be. Anyway, cheers, thank you very much, and I'll be sending more videos out today and tomorrow. Bye bye.